So the law of attraction is a lie because the law of attraction forgets that we live in community. Hello, Thorn here. I'm back with more information and conversation about mindset, manifestation, magic, and creativity. So what do I mean when I say the law of attraction is a lie? I'm going to tell you. But first I have to say, in my life, I have manifested so many things. I have authored many books, multiple books, so many books I can hardly count them. I have been a professional dancer. I have written and produced 4 music CDs. I'm an amateur photographer. I have manifested homes, relationships, health, and all sorts of good things. And I've done none of it in a vacuum. Here's the thing. We all co-create the cosmos. We co-create our lives with myriad outside forces, other humans, animals, the oxygen in the air, the way wildfires work, the rising oceans, melting glaciers, right? Humanity affects all of those things, and all of those things in turn affect humanity. Every time we inhale the product of trees and plants. Every time we exhale, we affect everything around us. There is nothing done in life that is in a vacuum. That is why I say the law of attraction is a lie. The law of attraction says just change your thoughts. Change your mind and change your life. Well, that's partially true. It's why I'm talking about mindset. And I'm going to keep talking about mindset because mindset is important. In changing my thoughts, in altering my patterns of my mind, I do shift the trajectory of my life. I make different choices, hopefully better choices, hopefully healthier, more fruitful choices. I'm making choices, hopefully, that bring me into deeper relationship with everything around me. The trouble I have with the law of attraction, one trouble, is that it acts as if our mind is the only thing in the universe that exists, and that is a lie. So yes, change your thoughts. Shift how your thoughts and your emotions act together. Shift how your thoughts and your emotions affect your physical health and your behavior in the world. I am a big proponent of gratitude. I feel grateful every single day, and I try to tell the people around me how grateful I am. And I notice the small things. The barest buds on the tips of trees in spring. Something discarded on the sidewalk. All of these form patterns, and all of these inform my life. So I slow down, I breathe, I pause, and I notice. And then I ask myself, whether consciously or subconsciously, what's my choice here? What's my next action? And what is the life I want to build? Is it a life based on creativity, on love, on social justice, on environmental justice? Is it a life built from greed or a life built from compassion? Yes, I'm ambitious. That's part of why I create so much. It's part of why I used to travel the world and teach all the time. But my ambition does not come from a place of competition. Nor does my ambition come from a wish to become top dog, top of my tier, the person with the most toys. No, my ambition says I want to live in a more beautiful, just, and equitable world. That's what I want to manifest. And yes, some of that starts with me and the changes I need to make in my life. But some of that also starts in my communities. It starts in all of my relationships. It begins in how I treat the earth and how I notice my relationship with the earth, with the stars, with the water I drink, and the ground I stand upon. So the law of attraction is a lie because the law of attraction forgets that we live in community. The law of attraction can also devolve into victim blaming. Well, you chose to be born into a family with abusive parents. Well, you chose to live next to a toxic waste dump and get cancer. Just change your mind, the cancer will go away. Well, no, that's not how it works. And we know that's not how it works. There are social and environmental forces at play, and we live within and among those, and we create and manifest within and among those things. So yes, I am a person who has an autoimmune disorder. I have been laid flat with my chronic illness. I've also sustained a traumatic brain injury that was one of the worst parts of my adult life, moving through that, living with it. So I didn't manifest my chronic illness, and I didn't manifest my brain injury. A concussion and a subsequent virus did that. But what I did manifest was my response, as much as possible. Now, some of the time, the brain injury was driving the bus, and that was clear, and I got to observe, oh, wow, this emotion is just coming from something my brain is manufacturing. It has nothing to do with my current circumstance, and everything to do with brain chemistry. So that was a great teaching. But the thing I manifested, laid out flat on the couch with my chronic illness, or dealing and coping with my brain injury, was that I still wanted to create. I still wanted to meditate, and I needed to figure out ways to do that. So I made a choice. I did change my mind. I did use mindset. And I said, okay, I can't write this hyper complicated thing. What can I write? Oh, I can write this really fun, kind of bonkers, cozy paranormal mystery series set in a town called Seashell Cove. So I did, because it was the only thing I could do. I don't want to go for a walk, but going for a walk is helpful for my health and my brain. So I'm going to literally, what I called, drag my carcass around the block. Some days that was all I could do. But my mindset and what I wanted to manifest drove me to take that walk, drove me to figure out how and what and when I could write. And I also listened to when I could not. That is how we manifest. I have changed my life large and small through the powers of creativity, mindset, and manifestation. There was a time in my life I was desperately unhappy. And so I decided to embark on a large spell. And I wrote down everything I wanted to manifest in my life. What did I want my life to look like and feel like? And I worked on that for months. And then I put it away. And I let the magic work within and through me. Through this shift in my mind, a shift towards what I desired instead of what was making me unhappy. And yes, I had to break some situations that made me unhappy, and that was wrenching and difficult. But I did it. And I started the work to manifest the life I have today, which is a life filled with love, solidity, a sense of home, and a life in which I'm able to create as much as I desire. So, yes, the law of attraction is a lie, but it's also partially true. The world around us affects us. We affect the world. We can change our minds, but we have to change our minds and work towards manifestation and creativity, knowing that we do so in this large, beautiful community we call planet Earth and our solar system and the cosmos, and we are co-creating with every tree, every insect, the fish in the ocean, the rainfall, the land mass, the tectonic plates, and other human beings. We can make choices, and we can make choices to help ourselves and to help each other. And that is what I want to manifest. Wishing you beauty and joy and great creativity. And if you're interested in more videos on this topic, look over here. And I'd also like to give a great thanks to all of my Patreon crew who support my creativity and my manifestation, and I wish those people every blessing. Thanks for watching.